Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Aaron Kenny.
The sun will be shining all day today as temperatures reach a high of 8 degrees. Temperatures will drop to 4 degrees overnight. Expect a few more clouds on Friday as temperatures will remain consistent with a high of 8 degrees and low of 4. Heading into your weekend on Saturday, things will warm up a bit with a high of 10 degrees and low of 4. Sunday, we will see an 80% chance of showers with a high of 12 and low of 8. Showers should clear up by Monday to start the work week, but expect temperatures to drop with a high of 11 degrees and evening low of 3. That's all for your 5-day weather forecast. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Aaron. Turning now to national and international news, Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the city of Tacloban began the difficult task of burying their dead in a mass grave today. 100 bodies were lowered into the ground and dozens more lay waiting to be taken into other burial sites. More than 2,000 deaths have been confirmed overall, and the number is expected to rise significantly. The United Nations estimates the typhoon has affected 11.3 million people in the Philippines, which is almost 1 in 10.
Back at home, a fin whale is set free today after being stranded since Wednesday on the Jersey Cove of Nova Scotia. Workers from the Marine Animal Response Society and the Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture placed pontoons around the whale in an attempt to escort it back to sea. The whale was originally identified as a minke species, but later confirmed to be a young fin whale about 10 meters long. The workers believe the whale had come close to shore to feed and became trapped by the tide. After releasing the whale, the workers used a boat to help safely guide the animal back into the sea.
Prince Charles turned 65 today. He still doesn't have the job he was born to do, but he plans to claim the government pension he now qualifies for. He is entitled to about $175 per week because of his Royal Navy service and his voluntary contributions. Palace officials say Charles will donate the government pension to a charity that helps elderly people. Prince Charles is the longest waiting heir apparent in Britain's history.
Canada is establishing a $39 billion shipbuilding project. The project amount is more than twice what the government spent on the shipbuilding project during the Second World War. Irving Shipyards in Halifax and Seaspan's Vancouver shipyards will be taking on the task to build over 23 combat ships in 10 different models.
Back on land, Christmas shopping should be a little easier and not as packed this holiday season because more Canadians are expected to shop online. Natalie Stoberman has the scoop.
An Angus Reid survey released today says 60% of Canadians will use online shopping to buy their Christmas gifts. Bob Balfe, business professor at Humber, says there are many advantages to online shopping.
The big thing I think for online shopping is it's convenient, very convenient. You shop from the comfort of your own home, and all of the better online retail stores have got really good delivery, so they'll have 2 or 3 day delivery if you want. You don't even have to leave your home to pick up their product.
The poll says 68% of consumers in Atlantic Canada are expected to shop online this year, followed by 66% in Alberta, 64% in Saskatchewan, 57% in Manitoba, 52% in Quebec, 61% in Ontario, and 59% in British Columbia. Canadians of all ages are getting into the online shopping spirit. The poll says online consumers 55 years old and above are totaled at 41%, and 35 to 54-year-olds are listed at 62%. But the 18 to 34-year-old group leads the way at 76%.
I like to compare my sales, so if it's online, it's cheaper, even with shipping and handling, and then or in a store, and then I compare and then buy wherever I need to.
According to the poll, online shopping in Ontario is slated to be at 61%, but when you move out west, the rates are much higher, and for good reason.
Smaller cities, the stores are further apart, especially in winter. It'd be very difficult to fight the snow and the storms if there are to get there. So I can see more online shopping happening out west, and maybe the growth not as big in major urban centers like Toronto and in Montreal.
Even though the number of overall shoppers has increased from 48% in last year's survey, there are Canadians who still like being in the malls at Christmas time.
No, I'll definitely be in the malls on Queen Street. I'll be out there. My cousins come down, Boxing Day tradition, we always do. Huge shop right before or right after Christmas, I guess, and yeah, definitely going to be in the malls. I don't know if if I'd be online for Christmas.
Since there's a clear majority of Canadian online shoppers this year, I may as well get started too. Natalie Stoberman, Humber News.
And now with your sports news, here's Frank Boateng.
Thanks, guys. The Humber men's basketball team handed Niagara a 30-piece last night, winning by 33 points. Niagara kept Humber on defeat, keeping the first half close, but a great second-half performance from point guard Gibson Edifo and small forward Matthew Marshall gave the Hawks a boost. Humber's defense held Niagara to just 15 points in the second half en route to an 86-53 win. The women's win streak is at 6 games after handing Niagara their first defeat of the season. The Hawks started and didn't register a point until 5 minutes before the end of the first. Without starting point guard Cassandra Nofuente, who was injured, power forward Elena Domingo led the team to victory. She racked up a double-double, scoring a game-high 24 points and 14 rebounds. The final score was 66-56. The Hawks' next game will be against rival Sheridan College on the 19th. Both the women and men's volleyball team are home to Conestoga tonight. The women remain undefeated after 4 games into the season, while the men coming off their first loss will look to turn things around. Conestoga's women and men's team are still without a win in the season and will be facing a dominant Humber squad. Game time is at 6 p.m. for the women, followed by the men at 8. Chalk one up for the good guys as the Raptors played their most complete game in the early season. DeMar DeRozan had a dominant first quarter, scoring 13 points, including this throwdown off the Lowry alley. Rudy Gay was on fire, lighting up his former team for 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Gay, DeRozan, and Lowry combined for 62 points. The Raptors won 103-87. The Maple Leafs suffered a heartbreaking shootout loss last night in Minnesota. Up 1-0 with 5 minutes left in the third period, the hockey gods decided they didn't like Phil Kessel. Kessel turned over the puck in his zone, leading to a shot which was deflected off Zach Parise's skate and then Kessel's and into the back of the net. The Leafs lost 2-1 in the shootout. Kenichi Ito, does that name sound familiar? No? Then you're not alone. Check this one out. The Japanese man just broke his own record, running 100 meters in 16.87 seconds on both his arms and legs. The 30-year-old man hopes this will become a track and field event in the near future. That's all for sports. I'm Frank Barton. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Frank. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Tatiana Patterson.
Brianna gets ready to drop a new video, and Humber welcomes a very special guest today. I'll have your entertainment update after the break.